Hi there everyone, welcome back to Fingers, Thumbs and Fits, where today I will be looking at Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead. However, I'll be looking at two magazines, not one. We've got a different episode today. Now why, I hear you ask? Well, it's because what the magazines come with is fundamentally both the same, really. They both have 10 Clanrats with them. So there's no real point in me doing two episodes focusing on the same thing, really. We will be looking at the magazines and what else is here. The sneaky thing is issue 7 comes with Clanrats, a sort of measuring tool and some dice. Whereas issue 8 comes with 10 Clanrats and 20 bases. So you actually need both issues to complete the set of minis, which is cheap. So if you did only want 10 Clanrats, I'd recommend getting issue 8 rather than issue 7 because you get your bases. Anyways, that being said, let's crack open number 7 and have a look at this in detail, shall we? Or I could just have all of the difficulty I have usually trying to get into the magazine. Right, so there's the magazine itself with some nice Skaven Clanrats artwork on the front. We'll go into this in just a moment. There's our sort of measuring tool, a sort of like clear plastic rule, which is quite nice, actually. It's quite nice. A bit flimsy, but I mean, that's fine. We have 6 more dice, which is, you know, I'm not going to knock throughout this series. You know, dice are always welcome if you're learning how to play. Which I've just done an unboxing of the Sand and Bone set, which I'll put a link to on the screen. That doesn't have any dice with it. So, you know, if you're sort of going in hard with Spearhead like I am, I mean, I've got dice all over the place anyway, but yeah, I know, must be doing well, eh? But yeah, if you're going in hard with Spearhead like I am, then getting these issues and getting Sand and Bone, not Sand and Bone, City of Ash, what am I talking about? City of Ash doesn't have any dice in it, then, you know, you're onto a bit of a winner. Because you can get the dice from this and you can get the minis from City of Ash. So yeah, anyways. Here's our Clanrat sprue. Now these are the old push fit Clanrats that came with the old Spearhead set. And in the I don't think it was the Skaven was it the Skaven box? It might be, because I think they've changed the Clanrats since then. So if you've got Skaven you've probably already got these. But yeah, they do the job, you know, they're Clanrats, they're easy to build. So yeah, 10 Clanrats. But what is in the magazine itself? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Aside from the awesome artwork, I do like that picture. We've got our how to build our Clanrats. So, you know, we've got that section there. A little bit of background between the clans and the councils, and what the Council of 13 is. That's sort of like the governing body that rules over the whole of Skaven society, really. The clans themselves, so the clans Verminus, which are kind of like, you know, the Clanrats and the Storm Vermin, and, you know, they basically provide the military. Clan Scriber are your Warlock Engineers and your Inventors, and they're all pretty insane. Clan Pestilens is things like Plague Monks, and, you know, they kind of worship the aspect of plague. Very sort of Nurgle adjacent. The Clans Moulder are the guys that essentially experiment on critters, and, you know, they're Beastmasters. They create the weird like brood horrors and stuff. Clan Eshin are your assassins, and they're very cool. And the Master Clan are, they're kind of like the guys in charge, really. I am a bit of a Scriber aficionado, but now that I've got City of Ash, I am liking the Eshin models. They're a bit fiddly to put together, but I do like the Eshin models. Anyways, right, we've got something on moving and charging, which is pretty cool. Fighting turns, movement phase explained, which is cool, sort of how a move works. Combat range, retreating, running, unit coherency, the charge phase, so charging into combat. And we have a battle to put all this together. This, in this case, Scurry Forth. Sort of goes into detail of turns, so Skaven and Stormcast there, and sort of like some victory bump. So yeah, there we go, and we've got a preview on the back to show us what's going on with issue 8. So let's just take a look at that now, shall we? So, as discussed, or as previously mentioned, the models here are going to be pretty much the same. So we're not going to look at them really as we just have done. The only thing here though is the bases. You know, they're the bases with the little holes in that you push the pegs in. But they are going to be pretty much the same as what we just looked at. So we'll move them over there. And so issue 8. Okay, so we're going into the Clan Verminus, where we have some storm vermin. They're basically more elite, heavier armed Clanrats. They charge into battle with halberds and heavy armor. Probably won't see or hear them or hear from them a lot during this series because they're not in any spearheads. So that dude is though. You know, get ready for issue 13. Spoiler alert. That's a Claw Lord that basically leads Skaven into battle, and I like that model. I'm very much looking forward to painting it up. So we have our Clanrats. They're our basic Skaven troop. Storm Vermin, as I say, they're kind of like elite troops. We get our Clanrats with our battle record, as our models tend to get. There's the Spearhead War Scroll, and how to paint Clanrats, which is quite nice. This is just going to go up to where we are with the paints at the moment. Yeah. So it's basically going to be undercoated with Aberdeen Black and then base coated or dry brushed with Rhinox Hide. So we've got a recap on what we've learned on how to play the game. We now go into the combat phase, which is, you know, melee combat. Pile-ins, which basically happens just before combat does. It's basically so that, you know, models jostling for positions and get into range of each other. We've got another battle plan here. Get stuck in, which I'm assuming is good. Yeah, multi-unit brawling. We've got Lord Veritant, Liberators, and we've got 2 units of Clanrats and a Greyseer. Nice. Again, a breakdown of the turns, the victory bump, and a preview of the next issue, which will have 2 paints, Leadbelcher and Mephiston Red, and it will go into Clan Scriber and the shooting phase. So that will be next week's video. I hope you join me for that. So this has been issue 7 and 8 of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead, And so I guess now that you've taken a look at them, I need to put them together. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, here we are. As you can see, I've got 20 assembled Clanrats now. With the sprues over the 2 issues, you're able to make 2 units of 10, which is handy as it's 20 models. But interestingly enough as well, each little unit also has its own champion. I think it's a champion model. Let's have a look here. Champion mini, a standard bearer. Comes in 2 flavours. It's this one with the square banner, and here's another one with a sort of like tattered banner. And musician. So here's one musician is a drummer, and the other one, because they seem to like their bells, is a bell ringer. And so even just from those minis, you get an idea of what Clanrats kind of look like. They're kind of, you know, they're armed with hand weapons. They're kind of hunched over, and they're kind of like the rabble-ish of the Skaven forces. But yeah, these guys are push-fit models. They're pretty much, I think aside from the leaders, which are 3 pieces, there's the left-hand side body, the right-hand side of the body, and the head. The models themselves are only 2 parts, not including the bases. So it's basically either a top and a bottom, or a left and a right, and then the base. Now, as you can see, some of these are still a little bit shiny. Even though they are push fit, I have reinforced the joins with some plastic glue, which is what I've been doing with all of the minis. So yeah, just to give them a bit of added strength, and obviously, you know, you've got like your little peg and your hole to put them on the bases. But I mean, assembling all these, I wasn't doing it particularly quickly. I think it took about 40 minutes of sort of distracted assembly. I mean, I was paying attention to the assembly instructions with which numbered pieces to put together, but once I'd clipped them off the frame, it's just like, yeah, okay, let's have a bit of a leisurely pace. So they're not too tricky to put together, these guys. That, and I think I've put together this particular sprue about 3 times previously already, so I kind of vaguely knew what I was doing. But it does say in the assembly instructions, a lot of these pieces do look very similar, so pay attention to the numbers and to what you're clipping off the frames if you're not familiar with the frame or the pieces, and you shouldn't have any issues with it if you're assembling these for the first time. And do you know what, I actually really like these models as, you know, the Clanrats. I think they're pretty cool, even though these are the older ones, slightly smaller than the current range, but they still do the job, you know, they still look the part, and I think these are going to look pretty cool when they're painted up. We're going to paint them up in the rusty dirty scheme that I've been using for the rest of the Skaven, and I will get onto that in due course. So I think that about wraps it up. So all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're a fan of the Skaven, what clan you're a fan of, if you've been playing long, if you've just started playing. And I guess I will see you for the next episode, where I'll be looking at issue number 9. So yeah, please do join me for that one. Until then, keep on adventuring, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.